Okay, now we start off with our color mixing. I want to show you my chart for color mixing. I said to you, you need 7 colors to mix almost all the colors on earth. You don't have to spend a lot of money on buying paints. You can mix your own colors, whatever you need, if you just know the basics of color mixing. You need your 3 primaries, which is red and yellow and blue, and you need a green. I prefer a sap green, but then you also need this is your cool side of your colors, so you need a cool red and you need a warm color of each primary. My warm colors of my red of my primary that I always use is a vermilion red, and my cool red that I use is a Lawson crimson or a rose madder. For the yellow, for the cool yellow, I use a lemon yellow. For my warm yellow, I use a cadmium yellow. For my cool blue, I use a cerulean blue, and for my warm blue, I use a cerulean blue. For my cool blue, I use an ultramarine blue, and then my sap green. And then you also need white, but white you cannot mix up. You cannot mix it. You've got to use white out of a tube, but you need your white for your highlights. And then you need black, your black and your white. And I never use black out of a tube, because black out of a tube can be very harsh. Sometimes you need black out of a tube, but for the most of the time, I mix my own blacks. And I've got a recipe that I use. If you take your 3 primaries, blue, yellow, and red, and you mix your 3 primaries, you get a black. I mix my black. Sorry, I just want to fix that thing. I mix my black. I take, and I usually use my cool side, my cool colors, because black is cool, black is shadowy, so black is cool. I use 4 parts of blue, ultramarine blue, 2 parts of a Lawson crimson or rose madder, and 1 part of cadmium yellow. And you mix it on your palette until you see you've got a nice, scrape it on your palette to see the see-through, to see if it's a nice dark black. You can adjust it a little bit, but usually, as I gave you the recipe, 4 parts blue, 2 parts red, and 1 part yellow is sufficient for me for a very nice black. Then you can also use other darks, which goes very dark and more to the black side. If you take a burnt umber and or a raw umber and you mix it with a viridian, then you get a very nice deep dark. But I prefer the black, as I said to you how I mixed it. Then you take, if you get your primary is the red, your blue, and your yellow. This is your primary colors. Then your primaries, between your primaries, if you take your yellow, between your yellow and your blue, is your secondary color is a green. Between your yellow and your red, your secondary color is an orange. Between your red and your blue, your secondary color is a violet. And between your secondary color and your primary color, you get your tertiary colors, which is the more grayish colors, your turquoise colors, and your more sienna in browns, and you can mix beautiful colors if you also combine your secondary color and your primary color. Then you get your tertiary colors where you can mix all your beautiful yellow ochres, burnt siennas, and your burnt umbers by combining those. But I'll show you now how you do it. Then you've got your value scale. Your value scale is very, very important because you've always got to compare your colors which you use compare it with your value scale to get the right value, because if your values is not right, your painting is dull and you can't bring out the beauty of your painting. So you really have to compare when you've mixed your colors, comparing it with your value scale. You can make your own value scale, which you take white as your number 1 and black as your number 10, and you bring it, if you mix it, you can make your own, bring it lighter, 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 and darker, 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 to get your value scale to which you can compare. Here I've got a value scale on paper. It is from number 1 white to number 10. You can also do it in your colors. Here I've got my blues, from my lightest blue, and then you add a little darker and darker and darker until you get on your value scale. You get from, you can compare. When you do your skies, and you want a cloudy sky, then you can't use a white, a light blue. Then you go to your value scale and you see how much of your value you've got to mix into your color to get the color which you need. Same with when you do flowers, for instance. I love painting flowers, but when you go to the core of your flower, you want that deeper color, that value that shows you that there's this depth into that flower. Then you have to mix your color of your which you use for this instance a pink. You've got to compare it with your value scale to get that deep value that you need for the core of your and the shadowy side of your painting and your work, the work that you do. So that is the value. Your values, as I said, goes from 1 to 10, and that is, you can compare all your colors according to your values to see how deep and how light and how dark your color is. Then you also have to look at your hue. Your hue means how warm or how cold your color is. If you want something that is warm, that's in sunlight, that's a warm color, then you look at the warm side of your that is your hue. And then you get your chroma. This is artist language. Your chroma is the intensity of your color. The intensity, how much pigment, how much intensity is in that color. So that is the three words you've got to learn in color. You always hear the artists talk about value and hue and chroma. The value of your color is the value is the shadowy color, or the intensity or the highlight of your color. That means how dark your color is or how light your color is. That is the value of your color. If you go to the hue of your color, it is how warm your color is or how cold your color is. And then you go to the chroma. The chroma is the intensity of your color, what intensity you need in your color. That is your chroma. If you go to your color wheel, you've got your primary colors. Your primary is your red, your blue, and your yellow. That is your primary colors. Then your secondary colors is the colors on your color wheel. Between your yellow and your blue, your secondary color is green. If you also go to your color chart and you look at your color chart, there's your yellow. Between your yellow and your blue, you get your greens. Between your blue and your red, you get your violets. And then between your yellow and your red, you get your orange colors. Now your orange in the middle, between yellow and red, is orange. Between yellow and blue is green. Between blue and red is violet. And then you get your blue violet or your red violet, which is your tertiary colors. You get your blue greens or you get your yellow greens, which is your tertiary colors. And then you get your red orange or your yellow orange, which is your tertiary color. Tertiary color from yellow to red is a red orange. From orange to yellow is a yellow orange. That's your tertiary colors. Can you understand what I'm talking about? Tertiary colors. Your tertiary colors is also always your more intense colors to your burnt oranges, your burnt umbers, your siennas, and the yellow oranges is more to your yellow ochres and those colors. I'll show you now how to use that. You can also mix beautiful greens. If you mix all your range of blues and range of yellows. So if you want a range of yellows, then you go to your tertiary colors. You take your blue and you take your yellow and you mix your tertiary colors. There I've got tertiary colors between my blues and my yellows. You get all these ranges of greens that you can mix. If you take your lemon yellow, that's your cool yellow, and you take your manganese blue and you mix them together, you get this beautiful range of colors. You take that same manganese, cadmium pale, manganese, gamboge, cadmium yellow, Indian yellow, and yellow ochre and raw sienna, all those colors which you can create on your tertiary colors mixed with your primary, your secondary colors mixed with your primary, then you get to your tertiary colors which you can use then furthermore with all your other tertiary colors and primary colors to get a range of beautiful, beautiful greens. It is very good to make your own chart, because if you do a painting, for instance, a landscape, in a landscape you use a lot of greens. You don't want to use the same green all the time. And it's so nice if you have a chart like this and you're looking for a specific green, then you know immediately what intensity of colors you have to mix to get to the color of green that you need for your painting. It's very good to work out your own chart. You can do this with all your colors. You can make the most beautiful color range colors for yourself, and it makes your work so much easier unless you get so good at color mixing that you immediately know. But I'm telling you, all the artists that if you do your paintings, a lot of artists goes back to the basics of their um, charts to get the colors they really need. You do get this magic palettes, and you get other palettes. I always refer to my color wheel. Your color wheel, I can't paint without my color wheel. Your color wheel is so important. Then you can get this on internet. You can print a wheel like this for yourself, and you can take your colors and make your own color wheels. Make your color wheels with, like I've done here. I've taken my colors. There is my primary red. This is my cool red, my Larsen crimson, and that side is I've taken a cadmium red, and I've mixed it in a scale down with white to get a scale of pinks that I use for my flowers. I love painting flowers. This is my tertiary colors that I use. This is my my violets that I've taken. Violet I get from blue, my blue colors and my reds. Then I've mixed my violets, and I've taken white, and I've brought them down, and that side I took ultramarine blue, and I darkened it for my U values my value scale that I made. Yeah, I've got all my colors. It's my cadmium French ultramarine blue, and my cerulean blues that I've taken the opposite colors on my color wheel, and I've created all my grayish colors. Here I've got my grayish colors. There I've highlighted it with white, and I always refer to my charts when I look for a specific color. Then if I look at my charts, here I've used ultramarine blue with white, and this side I've used ultramarine blue with cadmium yellow, and I've mixed colors which I always refer to in my landscapes. You can make yourself the most beautiful charts, and if you mark them like I've marked mine here, and you go to your charts that you use, it's so much easier to mix the color which you need. If you take your yellows and your reds in between to your oranges, you can create between those two, you can create your yellow ochres, your burnt siennas, your burnt ambers, and also your umber. If you put more ultramarine blue in, you get your raw umbers, and you don't have to go and buy all your colors. You can mix whichever you need. You can mix by using your 7 colors. Here and there, it's nice to go and buy a nice tube of paint, like for instance my Viridian. I like to buy my Viridian, but it's also not necessary, because you can create your own Viridian. If you take your turquoise blue, and you put more ultramarine red into it, then you can also create Viridian. You can play tremendous and for hours creating colors. That is why I said color mixing is an endless topic. You can never, I will never know enough about color. But when you start playing with color and you start creating your own colors, it is absolutely so interesting, and it is so nice, and it it prepares you to bring the best out of a painting if you go to the intensity of your colors and the color mixing. A painting is never at its best by using paint directly out of a tube. I recommend that you must always tone down, make it more grayish, make it put it in a highlight. Use your opposites. If you want to create shadows, take your red and your green and mix a little bit of green into your red, or red into your green, to create your shadows. If you want to highlight, take your shadowy color, which is already a gray down of your color, and then you put yellow into it, or you put a little bit of white into it, and you get the most beautiful highlights. And you can create beautiful colors. The basics of colors is there for us to use, but you do not have to spend such a lot of money on a range of colors if you know the basics, how to mix your colors. I hope I've initiated, I've put something into you today, and I really hope I ignited you to go and think out of the box when it starts with color mixing. Go and practice it. Take colors, take your primaries, and go to your opposites, go to your secondary colors, go to your tertiary colors, and start mixing your colors and see what you can create. And I'm sure your paintings will prosper by it, and also your purse. I hope you enjoyed what I've showed you today, and I would love to hear back from you. It's Nolinda Tue from Chroma in the Northern Cape. Enjoy your painting.